I was expecting the commercial to come on.
Oh, I didn't give you. I didn't put the PSA on today.
Oh, I was. You totally surprised me.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
We're extra dark today.
Yes, I was out in the sun this weekend.
I was too. Look at this. I worked on my color. Not Saturday. Not really Saturday.
Yeah. You know what? It's really funny. It's like when I was younger, I used to tan like a fiend, and now I'm like, you have to see how much sunscreen I put on.
If they made like SPF 1000, you'd be wearing it.
Yeah, anything over 50 doesn't really work. But it's funny because I don't, body wise, I don't care. My arms but like my face, because the wrinkles are here, and I'm super paranoid about that now. I have this whole skincare routine thanks to TikTok. Now that and I am super paranoid about the sun. Not that I wasn't before, but now it's
for the right reasons. It's not a bad thing. Well, happy Monday, and welcome to Live from Rabs.
Hello, bowling fans.
From inside
I like that.
A very dark Rabs kitchen.
Yes.
Yes, that's Dennis's greeting. Dennis was actually watching on my watch party of the day, so I couldn't take his comments and share them. So I'm glad he's on the.
That's the one thing I kind of don't like about the watch parties. The watch parties are good because I think it kind of drags people in that we know,
when you post
that like are maybe on our personal page, but then we don't get to see their comments up there. So,
and then if we share it, that's one thing, which is great. But then when we start a watch party, there's a notification that pops up. Oh, Frank Wilkinson started a watch party. Christine, Chris, yes, this is it's not a new one, but I think I wore this one before.
Need
bowling. A little teardrop. This is from our friends at Inside Bowling. Mike was on the other day, and so you saw that I wore my Not Bowling Sucks shirt. And today it's Need Bowling. So InsideBowling.com. He's got a handful of shirts available to you. Check them out. It's a little reminder,
Yeah, come on, people. So are we gonna? Well, there is no update.
So the governor was just on. So is the governor on vacation?
I don't know. Why did it look pre-recorded?
Well, it's not pre-recorded, but it's teleconference. So yesterday and today, he is live on Facebook via teleconference.
Is he pulling a Kelly? Is he in the Bahamas?
Well, he's not doing video, so if he's in the Bahamas, I feel like he might be on vacation.
It was a phone?
It's literally a phone teleconference, and it comes up on Facebook Live with his image, and it's a teleconference, and you could tell it's clearly like a conference call situation. And what happens? It's okay, it's fine because he's speaking.
Maybe he's in a car.
But it's 2 days in a row.
Oh, 2 days in a row?
Yeah, 2 days in a row.
Well, maybe he's in a car.
He hasn't said anything, and I'll catch up on that. The annoying part, I think, for somebody watching is that it's because it's teleconference. When they get to the questions, I have to.
It's
okay. I have to. The operator will take your questions, and then for the press that's on the phone, you have to press star something.
Right.
Identify yourself, and then they must have a switchboard where they can allow you, and they pick you, identify you, and then the operator says, okay, and actually the funny one just happened. The guy's name is Andrew.
Oh, so they didn't know who to talk.
So they said, Andrew, your line is open, and then I think it's the guy saying Andrew, and then he's calling the governor Andrew, or I don't know what the hell's happening, but then the governor's like, I know how to use this. He basically says, I know my line is open.
Oh,
and I think she's talking to you, Andrew.
Right.
So it was funny. The last 2 days, he really hasn't said much of anything. He did have a little rebuttal yesterday and today from Trump's executive orders on Saturday. He's not a fan.
Well, because he's making the states 25% responsible for the.
And in my opinion, I believe this is Trump's way of saying, shit or good off the pot. Let's go. Let's move. Let's make something happen. Do I agree with all of that he did? Maybe not.
I have to agree.
But I agreed. Listen, something has to happen.
Yes.
I agree in the fact that he did something, and this is his way.
Right. Of pushing.
And that's all he's doing.
To come up with a solution. And listen, we don't have to talk politics, but I don't often agree with the things that he does. But in this case, enough already. And just stop. Sit down at the proverbial table and help people. And both sides have made it very clear that that's what they want. Well, there's no reason why, if you put the BS aside, they cannot come to an agreement.
Yeah, and we need something. We do absolutely need something. For someone that's collecting unemployment, I certainly know that. And for those that are out there that are still and not that I if I want to go find work, sure, I'll go find work, but my business is being forced to be closed.
Correct.
And some people can't find work. And I think there are people at a certain age to go find work. Where am I going to go work and not get a job?
Correct.
So we need to do something.
Who's going to hire me?
No, you're very hireable.
Oh, wow.
It's whether or not you want to work for someone.
60 plus. I don't know who's looking for that.
You know what it comes down to, though? And Trump was very clear in his message. When they ask him stupid questions, which pisses me off, you have the president of the United States in front of you, and you ask him stupid questions, and then he gets mad because he calls on you. It doesn't matter, regardless of what he says.
Back and forth.
But regardless of what he says, he is answering questions. He acknowledges you. He answers your question. Move on, and then you're rude. Not saying you, but you're rude, and now you're ruining it for everybody else. And so he abruptly ended the press conference. But he would have continued had someone not just belligerently kept asking, just not even asking a question. So the point being, I'm a firm believer that he's trying to push the envelope to make them get back to the table and come up with something.
Yeah.
If anybody has watched Steve Mnuchin over the weekend, I thought he spoke very well Saturday and Sunday in response to all of this. He was on with Chris Wallace, and Chris Wallace is very fair. He goes after everybody.
Yeah.
He asks questions.
Yes.
And Mnuchin says, listen, we have to do. Let's move forward. And they just want to come to the table. So back to the governor. He's not a fan, of course, of the executive orders. And he shouldn't be, because he feels I shouldn't be in the hole for 25%.
Which they're already, he feels like
they're already in the hole.
They're already burdened.
And they're looking for more money. You're going to get your money if we sat at the table and made it happen. And so he did say something yesterday that I think, just a little while ago, I don't think he's completely against what the orders are.
Right.
He did say he's going to come back on at 1:30 today to speak about what he specifically go back to the executive orders and what our plan is going to be in New York State.
Oh.
And it might force the hand that some of the states are going to have to say for a week. Now, if you do the math, at 25% for a state, we're talking about hundreds of
it's a lot of money.
Millions of dollars a week.
Especially in a state like New York.
Right.
Where there are so many people.
So can they afford to do it? I mean, they probably can, but do they
Where
want
the money's
to?
Gonna come,
and should
it's just like everything else. The money is just going to be funneled from somewhere else.
Right.
It's some program's going to lose, some service is going to be cut, whether it's to schools or to special ed or to senior services. Something. It's not an endless. Just print the money.
Well,
unless you're the federal government,
right.
They can print it,
and they all want their money. And I get it. They should be getting some funding to do certain things, but not frivolously because they've spent it. And that's the argument. You haven't spent your money right in the first place, and now you're using this as the excuse. Let's come up with a plan.
Agreed.
And not fund programs that should be funded.
It's so stupid. Honestly, it shouldn't have to come to this. Because all this does is create more extra. It doesn't. And it doesn't.
It's so true.
It doesn't need to be. You know what needs to be done. The deadline was 2 weeks ago.
Right. There's no reason why today we're having this conversation. We should have had this a month ago.
Should have been.
Right.
And it wasn't a surprise. It wasn't a surprise deadline. They had months and months
to do it.
To do this. And you know what? I feel, I'm not saying I feel bad, but now this on top of trying to come up with some plans for businesses that need to go forward, plans for schools, whether they're going to open or not, because of course now they announced that schools will be open, and the parents and the teachers are pushing back because they don't want to be in schools where they have to continuously tell kids you have to put your mask on, or that aren't properly ventilated. So now, of course, what's going to get pushed to the bottom of the pile? The businesses that have to reopen.
Well, so to that point,
which is
That's what he talked about the last 2 days,
annoying.
specifically about the schools. And now he's saying today, which he didn't say this yesterday. Yesterday he praised all the school systems for putting in their plans. Today he's saying that school systems still haven't put their plans in. So I don't know what to believe anymore.
Well, maybe there are some that haven't.
So, or they've rescinded plans. I don't know what happened. But yesterday he praised school systems for getting their plans in. Today he specifically went back and said there are still some that haven't submitted plans. So now what does that mean? And then what I missed, somebody did ask the question about you're opening up schools.
Oh,
you're saying it's okay to open up schools, but we're not allowed to open up these other facilities.
Correct.
And indoor. Actually, they specifically talked about indoor dining versus the schooling. And then, of course, Miss Vicky walks in and interrupted, and so I didn't hear his response to that. I don't think he had one though. Right. So I'm going to go back and watch it and see.
Well, I think in the end, what he's looking at.
And I engaged Miss Vicky. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't her fault. I just I got up and started talking to her.
I think in the end, what it boils down to is the places where you're going to go in and have to be without a mask are the ones that are going to suffer the most. Obviously, that's what's happening right now. Places where you can go in and keep your mask on, stores, obviously retail, schools, they feel that's safe because you just have to wear your mask. But places where you're going to go in and take the mask off, they're worried about.
Yeah, but they're all
they're dragging on that.
But they're all doing this. I'm seeing more and more of the mask under the nose.
I have to say, maybe it's I don't know. Maybe it's the places I go. I have not been in any place where there wasn't full compliance with the masks.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, just good to hear from me because I would immediately leave.
Yeah, no, I'm certainly seeing it's terrible. Anyway, so speaking of compliance.
Speaking of compliance.
So sadly, 2 restaurants and bars here on Staten Island.
Oh, we're up to 2 now?
2 places had their liquor licenses suspended, both in the paper. So Marina Cafe and Marie's 2 on Victory Boulevard. No, the one. I'm sorry. Yeah, the one next to Stuyvesant, the one next to the theater.
Yes.
They've been open with.
Yes, they have
tables.
Yes, they have
Music.
Yes.
People saying the homeless are dancing in the streets over there.
Well, I haven't seen that, but that is a few blocks from my home.
But places pushing the envelope.
Yes.
And so here we are. The liquor license is suspended, and they're out speaking, saying they didn't get warning. That's a different conversation. However, what I have heard, but I don't know if this is true, but I'm sure we'll find out if it's true because I'm sure the advance will talk about it at one point. Not only are they trolling social media to find out if places are complying or not complying and reacting on responses, the rumor is that they're using drones in some of these places to monitor the crowds and see where they could go in. And at the same time, they're loud. Like you can see them. Yeah, you pretty much music and stuff,
around. Yeah, but honestly.
Bye, Miss Vicky. See you later.
Bye, Vicky. Honestly, if there's something in the air flying, you would more than likely.
Allegedly, they're using
drones
to. I do and I don't.
I don't.
I think you have a job to do, and if you do it, you know what? Here, this goes back to no matter what.
If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, send 100 drones.
If the government's going to find you, they're going to find you. I don't care if you use Easy Pass or not, or you don't have a credit card. In this day and age, the sorry conspiracy theorists, the government's going to find you. If you're not complying, then you shouldn't care about the drone. So I'm with you. At the same time, where do we draw the line on how we police? And what does it? I think the argument becomes, what does that become? If we're okay with that, what are we not okay with? But you also know we can't use facial recognition to get criminals in this city.
I understand.
So we could spy over people, but we can't use facial recognition. I agree. I have no problem with it. At the same time, I think it begs to differ. Do you open yourself up?
Personally, I don't have a problem with it because it's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt the people that are doing the right thing.
Well, right. No, it is going to hurt the people doing the right thing because
in the end, they're going to pay for the people who are not doing.
And that's what my concern is. I keep saying it. I'll be very consistent about it. All of those things are going to hurt businesses like ours from being able to reopen. Now, in different markets throughout the state where there is indoor dining allowed, I don't know what's happening in those places, but it'll be interesting to see what that looks like and what they're doing with their.
Chris has indoor. They have Long Island, right? Has indoor dining.
Yeah, it's really New York City. It's basically us that doesn't have indoor dining. Throughout the state, they have indoor dining, and so it's bothersome. So, just do it. Yeah, you're really not asking it. They're not asking.
Do your job.
Just do it. It's just sad that we live in this. We're living in this society. Yeah, we're living in this society where we don't want to. We just don't want to do it, right? Just do it.
Well, because people feel like their rights are being taken away, and listen, I understand, but this is a pandemic and people are dying, and it's not like 1 or 2 people are dying or the same amount as the flu. There were 160,000+ people who died in 6 months.
How about the TikToks where people are talking about, well, I follow all the other government regulations. I stop at the stop sign. I stop at the red light. I only go when I'm supposed to.
There are some scary people. That's what. Usually there are a lot of, as they call them, Karens on TikTok. So usually I can't. They're angry. They're angry, and they're almost always women.
Yeah, it is odd.
It's almost always women, and it's almost like you. I don't want to say you can profile them.
Oh, you can profile them.
But
we have them here.
They are a certain type of people that are angry.
You know, it's funny though, and I wonder why. Part of me believes that it's women. Mainly
there are guys too.
Yes, but
more aggressive.
But think about who shops for the family, who goes.
They're more likely to be out and about.
Right, they're more and be subject to it. Where men, I'm not saying that don't, but they're not going to the supermarket as often. Depending on the house.
No, but they're going to motorcycle rallies at Sturgis.
Yeah, well, that's different. But it's okay.
Thousands and thousands and thousands.
What's so different than a rally? I mean, it's no different than a political rally or a protest.
I mean,
they're all the same. Wear your damn mask.
I'm not
but
saying.
If we're not supposed to be in groups of people, then it should stand for everybody.
I did post something where somebody was.
What did you post? You don't post.
No, I don't. I am a creeper. If you look at my Instagram, I have like 6 pictures on there.
Yeah, you're a creeper.
But meanwhile, I'm creeping everybody's pictures. So I did post asking about how is it different? Because I want to understand all sides. I really want to know why it's okay for a protest to happen and people are not worried about masks. But meanwhile, you're worried about somebody having a backyard party with 20 people. How is that done? Well, I started out with 20.
In New Jersey, they're back to 25.
They made the number down. Right, correct. So I actually asked that because Nazareth is having a party on Saturday. So I asked her how many people she is having, and she said, "Why?" Anyway, so the answer was to me that protesting is a right, so they can't take that right away from you. Whereas going to a store and purchasing something is a choice. So I said, okay, I'm going to accept that as it's still stupid. I mean, it's still people, if you're at a rally and you're around people, just wear a mask. And a lot of those people did at the beginning. A lot of them did wear masks. So, but at least I had an explanation of.
And I think that's the argument, whether that's right or wrong. And I think that's to back to the Karens who are arguing their right to walk into a store.
Since going back.
Right. And I have no problem with it. But we have to be in this climate. We're talking at multiple sides of our mouths.
Anyway,
we got to fight for our right to party.
There you go, Chrissy. There it is. You put it right.
Thank you, Christine.
Put everything into perspective.
Anyway, hey, speaking of masks, breaking news.
Breaking news.
Yeah, I'm going to share something.
You have not even shared with me.
Yeah, you did. Yes, I did.
Yes, you did share.
So
I didn't know
in the coming weeks, we are patiently waiting the delivery, but you'll have a chance to purchase some fancy Rabs masks, support your small business, and These will be available in both children and adult sizes, featuring Harry. Harry's bowling. Harry's got a mask on, or just a plain bowling with wraps. Be on the lookout.
Yeah, and the pro shop is also in current negotiations for we're trying to come up with a design that we like. Those are beautiful.
So we're gonna have those available to purchase.
Wonderful.
To purchase and go out and support and show your love for bowling.
And look, you know what it does? It gives an opportunity to strike up a conversation.
Oh, pun intended. Now I'm throwing the pun out today.
Yes.
Nice pun.
Strike up the conversation.
I like it. Strike it out.
Totally inadvertent.
Hey, it's our 25th anniversary, and we've been sharing photos. And
from previous years.
Well, they're all over the place.
Obviously.
Well,
nothing this year.
The only photos we have of this year are, never mind. So we've been sharing some old photos, and typically about this time, headed to the end of the month, this is depressing, but it's cool.
Yeah.
We typically, every bowling season, we change the bowling pins out. And so this is, I don't know from what year, but one of the years that we're emptying machines and putting bowling pins in.
Yeah. I was this year's old when I found out how they actually did that. Yes. I just found out last year, and I couldn't, I honestly, I was flabbergasted.
Naz helped.
Yeah, I almost got killed in the process. But only because I couldn't believe it. I never, of all the things I did, get stops and fix the machine, that I've never seen or done. Yeah,
so there are 21 bowling pins in every machine.
Crazy.
And there's an easy way to do this. And if you look at the back of the machine where the half moon is, and the piece of wood that blocks pins from flying out, there's a bucket. There's a bucket there that you can pull down, and pins instead of when they're coming through the cycle.
Right. Instead of going into the machine.
Instead of going through the cycle this way as they're coming up, you can actually stop the process and pull it down, and they come out. So this is exactly what Naz is talking about. I think
that's why they were all over the floor.
Right. So they come shoot it. You let them all come out.
Oh my God.
While they're on the floor. So and then obviously the boxes there are the new pins that go in. So there's 2 cases, and then we go back and backfill one bowling pin. But this is, I don't know. This is from just changing out bowling pins from the beginning of the season. The pins that we currently have, they're still in great shape. Naz, I did a thing the other day.
You did a thing.
I did a thing. I bowled.
But you know what? I was thinking about bowling this week. I actually.
I'm sorry, bowling fans.
Yeah.
And by the way,
listen. Many bowling fans, although we wish they didn't, they can go and bowl.
They can.
Not here.
Thank you, Anne. And Christine, yes, the masks, we will let you know. There'll be a post, but they'll be available to buy on our website. You'll be able to purchase, we'll mail them, we'll ship them out.
We'll ship your masks.
Ship your masks, or you can set up a pickup. And then there's a free delivery, free shipping on orders over a certain dollar amount. But we'll share them once they come in. We're not doing pre-orders. I'm patiently waiting for them to come in. We'll make sure we have what we got. But I did a Saturday. So Saturday and Sunday, I have to say, since we stopped the show on the weekends, I've been staying home, working on my tan, cooking, relaxing, whatever.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Saturday, since the weather wasn't as great, I decided I don't know what drove the decision to come here, but I had to do something, and so I came here.
Because this is probably where you go. It's where you go.
It's where
when you want to leave your house.
I ran a bunch of errands. So when I ran the errands, I wound up coming. I did have to come here for something. So I wound up staying. Melissa stopped in, and I was talking with Melissa, and I said, you know what, I think I should bowl. And so I took my stuff out. I bowled on lane 40.
I see there's a pin.
My stuff is still out.
Oh, look at that.
I left my stuff out. Joe, I have to agree. This is the first time I've bowled since March. I bowled 3 games. It was a lot, and my arm was sore, not my legs. Melissa specifically asked me about my legs, and oddly enough, typically that would be one of the first things. Right. My arm, and I guess I am walking, I am moving.
Right.
But it's not the same motion.
Not just right.
But it did feel nice to do that. I did. I'm sorry, I don't need to rub it in. I had the ability to. I'm sorry, but. it was nice.
People do now. I mean, they have to take a little
Yes,
trip.
you can
But
go
Joe
bowling in
Cal-
Jersey if you want.
Joe Cal said he went bowling last week,
Wait, so Joe?
and he said he wasn't sore.
No, he said he felt good, and I have to say, my hand fit in the equipment.
That's what he also said.
I also was a little warm, so that's certainly
doesn't help things. Yes.
As we have one air conditioning unit that is off right now.
Yes, I think
after our little electrical blitz the other day. But Joe Cal was originally practicing with his son, and it was just supposed to be him and his son, and then it turned into a party. It was funny. He said he texted me. He goes, "Oh, I'm gonna have to say penance for this one." But a bunch of them did go bowling over the bridge. 8 games, that's a lot. I can't do 8 games.
Yeah, that is a lot.
But we have had some folks call us and looking to pick up their equipment out of their lockers. And if you wanted to do that, give us a call. And we're here. We're here Monday to Friday, 11:30 to 4. Just call us and basically set it up. You could also make an appointment to come visit the pro shop. Jimmy's here a couple times a week.
Yep.
Appointment only.
And he's got appointments open this week. A couple on Tuesday, a couple on Thursday. If you just need some work done on your bowling ball, drop us a line and we'll set you up.
My sister-in-law just sent me a message. She said we might need a little light. We like the darkness. But it is a little dark in here today. And Bolden Seaside Heights virtual bowling in the arcade. Oh, that's right, the arcade. You could. Here's another crazy thing. You can go play games in an arcade in New Jersey.
Are they open? Are they
Gross.
open arcades? Is it?
They're probably on the boardwalk.
It's outside.
No, but everybody touches everything.
Listen, Frank. It's not about the touching anymore. I don't think.
I don't know what it is about anymore. Sometimes.
It's about the breathing. It's about the masks.
Anyway, I did ting. It felt good.
I'm glad you did.
I can't wait for all of us to be able to do that thing together. Yes. Hey, I also cool.
What else is going on?
They have to open one wall. So in okay, so they have to have one. They have to open one wall.
Right. So it's got to be like open air. Right. That's what I thought.
Christine's going to be the next mayor of Seaside Heights.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. They love their mayor. They have a place there, and I think she might get.
She's interested in the position. Oh, well, awesome, then.
I don't know if that's a scary thing or not. So
but does that mean she has to live there?
She'd have to, I guess.
She probably wouldn't have a problem with that.
She might not. Hey, so we've been sharing Harry.
There he is.
And we showed you that he's in the. This is a sticker, as you call it.
Right.
In the Giphy, in the app Giphy. And you can use these on your phone, send them in messages. There's a whole bunch of them. And yes, we had so far, he's like there for a month maybe now. 600,000 views.
What?
Yeah. Harry's been viewed and used about 600,000 times.
That's
so
something.
People searching for bowling.
Right.
He comes up. If they touch, and that counts.
Great,
they have to touch him in order for that to count. But 600,000.
That's crazy.
Harry.
That's how much people love bowling. That's all I'm going to say.
And they should be bowling.
And they should be.
Mayor Tony is the
everywhere.
best mayor ever. I've heard you've told me all about him.
Maybe we can have Tony call Andy.
Yo, Tony.
Yeah.
Call Andy.
It sounds like a thing.
Call Billy. Tell Billy, yo, open us up. I didn't listen to the mayor today, so I don't know what he had to say, but he didn't say anything Friday either. So but the schooling is the big thing.
It's the big thing right now.
Yes, how was your weekend? Yeah, I mentioned that I came here and
we had a party for my grandson Michael on
Did you have more than 25 people?
No, we did not. It might have been close to 25, but it was not more than that. It was it was good. It was fun. It was it was a kid party.
It's nice to see the grandchildren.
It was nice to see my grandbabies. Yes, I missed them. So but anyway, yes, it was good to see everybody. Everybody.
Sure.
Everybody.
The grandkids come first.
Except Lisa, who works for Con Ed and was working. And wanted to come today, but will not be able to because she's still working.
Listen, somebody's got to be working, and that's a good thing. So speaking of Con Ed, as of this morning, it looked like there were less than, from what I gathered, less than 100 people without power.
Yeah, they
as
really.
Of this morning.
I have to say, they did a pretty good job. According to the conversations that I've had with Con Ed people, like my neighbors, Con Ed, and Lisa's Con Ed, this storm was particularly bad. There was a lot of wind with this storm, and coupled with the older trees that we have, it was a good thing we didn't have the rain that we were going to have. But it was a bad storm. There was a lot of damage.
Lots of homes without power throughout the whole city. Some still without power, but on Staten Island, which looks like I think, as far as what I'm reading from our elected officials, the best response rate and the best recovery time was Staten Island. And the same thing with, although we had 2 restaurants get their licenses suspended, we are, as far as
I'm sure we're at the
violations, we're at the bottom of the pile.
Yeah.
Queens is the worst.
And also Queens has also got hit very badly with the storm.
Right.
They still have a lot of people that are without power.
And so as far as the boroughs go, overall, I mean, we're doing well.
Yeah.
But it's a shame that it's terrible that people are still without power.
Yeah.
And it's more annoying. It's something because we're so reliant on it. You know, there's so many. And listen, nobody wants to live like that anymore.
Lisa herself was without power in New Jersey for 2 or 3 days. She lives on like the 13th floor in an apartment building. What the hell? How does that work?
Up and down the stairs, Dave.
Yeah, well, I'd be staying in somebody's house.
Thursday, we were supposed to go to a friend's house in Freehold, and he was still without power. Waggy was still without power.
Oh, yes.
From Tuesday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
And then I think he got power
back Friday.
that night. Right.
And then parts of Westerly, I saw that gotten power back by Friday. New Dorp, very spotty. Oddly, you know, that Ross Avenue without power. Fremont, lots of trees too. And then
lots of big
Highland Boulevard.
Trees.
The shopping, they were still doing work, so I'm assuming they had
something
power at the new Highland.
Or maybe they had a generator.
But Starbucks, that was out, so they had no power.
That whole
Starbucks
strip mall.
And then, but all the other ones around them had power. So
yeah, it's strange sometimes how the grid is kind of split. Weird.
And that traffic light at the plaza in New Dorp was out for quite some time.
Yeah, we had a couple lights out on the North Shore too. That seemed to be out for a while, but you know, we talked about that on Friday.
Add it to a list of things in
2020.
Because nobody knows what 2020 is like, and you know.
So Frank, I see you have up there. How is Ulna 18 going?
I don't know.
Do you think?
I hope. I can't rant because I didn't notice today.
You didn't notice?
It was New Dorp playing. New Dorp was dirty, but it's hard right now because there's all leaves and stuff down all over.
Well, yeah.
So it is hard. So,
yeah, I spoke to my guy that cuts my lawn, the landscaper, and said, "Oh, you guys been busy."
He scapes your lands?
He scapes the lands. He does. I will tell you, yard work is hard.
It is.
I had to do some weeding, some extensive weeding. And I will tell you, I was out there yesterday morning, and I was out there for a couple hours, and I was like, I don't know how people. Finally, the landscaper came because I wanted to get the weeds up before he came, and because he doesn't weed, and he cuts the top off them, so I can't really get a good hold on them. So finally, he came. I said to him, I don't know how you do this all the time, all day, every day. This is hard stuff. So he laughed at me.
We recently got rid of our landscaper because of the lack of weeding and proper cleaning.
Well,
and no matter how many times we asked them, wanted no part. In the last visit, there was a younger guy, kid, as my mother called him. She specifically went out there, chased him. Because he finished whatever, and he left a mess.
Yeah.
So I was out back, and all of a sudden I hear her yelling, and I'm like, what is she yelling about? So now I come out front, and she's like chasing the kid down the block. And I'm like, what's going on? I said, I'll get him. And he just looked at me like I had 10 heads.
Yeah.
that was the last time we used him. We did get a new landscaper. We're very happy. So far, so good.
Yeah. It's listen.
It's a tough job.
It's a tough job, but it's like anything else. This
We
is
all
a
have
tough
tough
time.
jobs.
This is a tough time. This is a time for you to shine. In my words, if you want to keep your customers, especially people who pay a decent amount of money,
And more people are home now, so they notice it. They notice it more than they ever did.
correct. So do everything you're supposed to do, and maybe do a little extra. I mean, it doesn't cost anything.
You know what's funny about those jobs? They're referral based. I won't refer them. I will not refer. One time I did. I will not refer them. And I have. It's funny because I was speaking with one of our neighbors the other day, and somebody specifically in our group chat for the neighborhood was asking about a new landscaper. He says, I'm sick and tired of mowing my own grass, and this is he's fairly new, fairly new frontage, and he's having a hard time, and now he's got crabgrass, and he's just PO'd.
He's annoyed.
So the neighbor and I were talking. Another neighbor and I were talking specifically about referrals, and I struggle with referrals sometimes because I feel like it's a reflection on me.
Absolutely.
So
I suggest somebody and they do a crappy job, you're gonna look at me like, oh, okay, I see what happens. Yeah.
Are you trying to say that Naz needs a diffuser, Dennis? Is you saying that Naz needs?
No, probably because I'm talking a lot.
So yeah, and so the conversation. So he had asked for a referral. So in the group chat, stupid me, which I normally wouldn't do, I wasn't paying attention. I went to send it to him separately, and I wound up clicking the group chat, and I sent it. And then I was like, oh, crap. So then I followed up with, friends, I'm happy with his services so far. If you are not, get over it. It's on you. And everybody started laughing. Because then in the thread, somebody else wrote, I don't like my landscaper either. But they were referred by the neighbor across the street, and she's happy with them. So I said, well, she must be the pain in the ass customer.
And everybody's, especially a job like that, it's got different stuff. I mean, I have people around me that literally it's mowing the lawn. Now, I did a lot of plantings this summer. I have beautiful plantings that it's a little more complicated now. It's not just coming and mowing the lawn. So, the way I got the guy that did the planting, that did the landscaping part of it, he was doing my neighbors. And I liked what he was doing. So I went over and I chatted with him. I asked the neighbor how we liked him, and if he was happy with them, and he's,
Not the neighbor with the hole in the roof.
No. Yes, no landscaping. We're not gonna. Anyway, so yes, and he was very happy. So we had a conversation, and he ended up doing a nice job for me. But yeah, that's how those things happen.
And I'd love to refer my friends by all means.
Yes.
And I will typically I would privately refer someone, depending on what you're looking for, and I always will. But I do struggle sometimes with referrals. Stan, Jimmy is not here yet.
Yes, I just was going to say something.
He'll be here, but he's not here just
yet. Not yet.
But I will make sure he knows that you were looking for him. And he mentions, can we offer bubble wrap bowling? We might have to for people in bubbles to bowl. Oh, some people I'd like to put in a bubble.
Yeah.
Sometimes I want to be in a bubble
over their head, maybe.
So this weekend, part of my errands, Saturday, I finally stopped over at Ariana's.
I
stopped because I didn't see a line.
I saw what you did.
And I hate to feel that way, but it wasn't busy, so I had a bunch of places to stop, and so I quickly turned, parking spot, and I just glanced through. I looked through all the produce first, and I wanted to buy everything.
Yeah.
Everything looked really good, so I wound up. I stuck with buying tomatoes, which were amazing. I actually brought one for Jimmy today because Jimmy loves tomatoes.
Are they big one? The beefsteak?
The beefsteaks. They had heirloom beefsteak tomatoes. Now,
I get them up, but Girardi's gets them too.
And then I was really looking for figs. And then he had other stuff, but I had no. Then he had the long hots, the Italian peppers. I have to go back when I know I'm going to be able to cook couple days in a row. And I went inside. I wound up buying a couple plants, and then he had zucchini blossoms, zucchini flowers, and figs at the counter. So of course I had to buy some figs. The figs, the black mission figs, looked amazing. And then the zucchini flowers. Zucchini flowers was on the smaller side, which the trick, just in case you're looking for zucchini flowers, he has them every week. He gets them on Fridays.
Right.
So typically Friday, Saturday, I think they were $1.25 a piece. I don't know what the going rate for them. That seemed a little expensive, but I mean, it is what it is. So I put them in a baggie with a damp towel, put them in the crisper drawer. I wound up pulling them out yesterday to cook them. I completely failed.
Oh, really? They're not easy to...
No, I was trying to keep it light.
Right, there was a TikTok recipe.
I have a couple of recipes, and so one of them was that there's one from TikTok that I liked.
It was about a light batter. If you don't like a heavy batter,
I didn't want a heavy batter, and I don't know if my oil was. It was just right. But the problem is, I let them. They sat for a day, and they wilted. Even no matter how well I kept them.
Right.
So that was battling to stuff them. You wind up breaking them. So it was my first time cooking them. They were delicious, but it wasn't. I didn't take a picture of them because they looked terrible. As I take pictures of all my food. And so I'm going to have to try it again.
Picture of your figs.
The figs were delicious. So I had my Misfits beets. The yellow ones were huge. I had 3 of them. And I had 1 red one. And so I roasted them. This time, for the first time, I roasted in the oven. I always roast them on the barbecue. Wrapped in foil, olive oil, salt, pepper, half hour to 45 minutes, sometimes an hour. The bigger ones, an hour to hour 15. And I said, let me try it out. I wanted to smell them while I was cooking. They took longer in the oven. I leave it on 400, open, same way.
In foil?
No, I just left them open on the pan. Very good.
Whole or
whole?
Slice the top off it?
No, I just clean them, leave the top on.
Oh, really?
I always leave the top on.
You don't peel it, you leave the top on. So when you lay it on its side?
Yeah. Even when I do them, I clean them. I take the leaves off. I take my Adobe pad and I clean them. I don't peel the skin because that's where all the nutrients are. But basically, when you're cleaning, you pull some of it off. Right. So they were good in the oven. On the barbecue, I like that char on the outside, and they get softer because it's basically the heat, and it's hotter. So they're very good. But I took those, I cooled them off, and made a salad with them. But I had I had some fennel and figs, and made a salad. It was really
very nice.
It was different. It was different. So beets, figs, and fennel. Talk about Italian.
And goat cheese, no? Wasn't it?
And goat cheese. Yeah. And then I made an orange dressing. I took the juice of an orange, some zest, olive oil, apple cider vinegar, and then
apple cider vinegar works in everything.
And I like a vinegar. I love vinegar dressing. I love the white vinegar. A little bit of maple syrup, and a little bit of honey.
I use the maple syrup in the when I do my Brussels sprouts. But I made my neighbor brought me some cucumbers and tomatoes. I made a cucumber and tomato sauce, and I did that. I just used the vinegar and a little bit of sugar, and let it sit overnight. Oh my gosh! I could eat it every day. All day.
So with the tomatoes, we got fresh mutts from Frankie and Sal's on Great Hills, which fresh. They picked it up fresh, just made, and with these tomatoes.
Oh,
I didn't take a picture. I have more, so probably tomorrow when I'm home, I'll take a picture. But the tomatoes it was awesome. Absolutely, and it's really nothing like
that's what I really
having
like.
the ability to buy fresh mozzarella, especially if it's fresh.
Staten Island, it's every neighborhood has a place,
and their mozz is good.
That's really what I like about this time of year. I mean, we have access to so much fresh, great produce, and if you can't get out, Premium Produce has an amazing delivery service, and so there's no reason why. Shouldn't be eating that.
You can get it, stuff. And even if you want it, the farmers market is open at the mall on the weekends. I mean, it was packed Saturday. And
there's one up by me on St. Mark's Place.
And then Girardi's
Saturday morning.
Ariema's. I mean, we've got it if you want to get out.
Yeah.
I like getting the box in the mail specifically because it forces me
Right. So yeah.
eat certain things, try different things,
It
and now I'll buy them.
generally doesn't. I generally don't get my staple stuff from there.
No.
I mean, it's like, you
different.
get the different. I like that I get different lettuces from them because then I only really buy romaine. I never buy iceberg lettuce.
There's no nutrient.
I never buy. For some reason, like my mother likes the iceberg, and she goes, "Don't you buy the other lettuce?" No, Mom.
I like it, but
it depends. I very rarely buy it. There's so many other great lettuces.
Oh yeah.
To me.
Well, I like we like the mescaline mix, and I love arugula. I can't. So I have that scuttle that I got, and so tomorrow I'll probably do the Italian. I'll cook up the scuttle nice and fresh. But I would never buy that. I wouldn't.
No, right, correct.
I look at it, I don't even know how to cook it.
Right, exactly.
I'm looking at this thing, and it's oddly shaped.
Yeah.
Hugs to you, my friend Jan. Always thinking of you. Jan, are you here? Are you home? Or are you still south? But it's just this odd shape that you.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'll be excited to cut that open.
Nazareth was telling me she made some zucchini boats.
Oh,
so
little ones?
I think.
She took the big ones.
Oh, the big ones. Yeah. Scooped it out. Made some filling. She said it was amazing. So I think I'm going to try that this week.
Aramis, he had the big googles.
Yeah.
They were like this. They were this big. I was like, oh. And sometimes when they're too big, there's too many seeds, and they're not as sweet.
Right.
They looked really good. And he's got. It's funny. I struggle because everybody wants to. When it comes to produce, everybody wants to touch and squeeze. And he's got signs on everything. Please do not squeeze. There was the melons. Oh, I never went back to the melon. I was going to buy the melon. He had yellow melons. Damn, the Crenshaw melons.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I have to go back. We go through melons and fruit.
Yeah, we go through a lot.
But this time of the year, the tomatoes especially.
Yeah.
I have to go buy. I want to go get some crabs. So this is, we're
so where do you go?
I go
up the block.
On Richmond Road, or I go to Carlos on Richmond Avenue there, depending on where I am and what I'm doing.
Right.
But I'd like to get them. So I get them now to eat them, enjoy them now. But I also get them now for Christmas
to freeze.
Get them clean, and then I freeze them, and then for Christmas we have nice size crabs. I know it sounds crazy that you buy them 6 months in advance.
But you freeze them, and they're happy in there.
They're so little. Happy crab. You want happy crabs? Dungeness crabs are my absolute favorite. We've talked about that.
Yeah.
Get those at the Chinese restaurant. Speaking of Chinese restaurants, so Oriental Plaza also has outdoor dining. I did not know.
Yep, I saw. They might have just set that up because I was out on Richmond Avenue last week.
It looks like a flea market.
Because when I was
in the front and the
on the side, right?
Which is great. I'm happy to see that they are certainly doing that. I thought, interestingly, in the mall, Empire East isn't doing. They do a lot of takeout.
Right.
They don't have outdoor dining, and Outback has set up for outdoor dining.
Really?
Yeah. So the only Outback we have next to Angela's Kitchen behind the mall.
They must have been inspired by.
They might have been. It looks. I don't know if they're doing it chain wide or how it's working, but yeah, they were set up for outdoor dining. There was a big sign.
Everybody's getting in on the action.
Hey,
that's what you got to do. You got to do it.
You got to do what you got to do.
You do. You got to do.
If you missed Friday's show, go back and watch Friday's show. Friday we had Naz invited a comedian, an impressionist from the TikTok. Nikki Smiggs. He came on and was talking about how he kind of got started, and he's a funny dude. If you want to go check it out, you'll see that interview. He came in a little bit later into the show. We had Joe Cal in the studio as well,
and they hit it off fantastically.
They did. Uncle Joe.
I spoke to Nick afterwards, and he's super excited. He's going to come to New York. He's going to come and visit us. Hopefully, we're not still doing this, or not doing it this way, but yeah, we're excited. He's a funny and friendly guy.
Yeah, and you see during this time so many people, young adults, grandmas, Karens, of all kinds, kids who spent some time on TikTok making videos, and just to fill void in time and have some fun. And I have to say, you can get lost in the scrolling of watching endless nonsense. But
at the
people like
beginning,
him
yeah,
have just made it into a
used
little bit
it
of a
as a
craft
way to, yeah,
and make people
absolutely.
laugh. And does these impressions. They're funny, especially being from New York.
Yeah.
You could appreciate the Italian
Yeah.
family videos and stuff. So
yeah, he's naturally, I believe, in the Sebastian Maniscalco kind of
he's got the voice too.
family.
He's a good-looking guy. He's got the voice.
In addition to doing an impression of him, he's from Chicago, or as they say, Chicago. And they're similar, and they have that very sarcastic kind of humor. Sebastian Maniscalco is.
I have yet to see him in person. So
I
want to do. We were supposed to go see him in Atlantic City
right.
during all this crap that's happening around us, and obviously that didn't happen. So we'll get to see him. He's absolutely hilarious. My brother was telling me that he had to go down to Atlantic City for a work thing. He says it was a work thing. I still call
probably he had to work.
He doesn't need a reason to go to Atlantic City, but he'll go visit. He gets in the car and goes and visits friends and whatever. It might have been a work thing. He did invite me to come with him, so maybe he wasn't lying completely. But he said it was very busy.
Oh, really?
But it seems like a lot of day trips versus the multiple stays, multiple day stays. And when we go to Ocean, they did a really nice job. They have outdoor dining now. Originally they had you take your food out type thing, food trucks. Now they've made it where they have a full menu.
Oh, really?
Outdoor dining.
So where is that? Where is that?
I believe it's off from the lobby.
From the lobby.
You go out into the patio.
That's a nice area, though. It's really nice there.
So it's so beautiful. It really is. They have the leg up on everybody.
Yeah, definitely do.
Hi, Pat. And so I'd like to get to Atlantic City at some point.
Yeah, well,
it's time, but it's not 100% enjoyable either.
Yeah.
And yes, today we're looking forward to. We are having a get together with our Rabs family here in the parking lot. Our team. We're having a little tailgate party with all of our staff here later this afternoon, and it'll be nice to see everybody. Whoever's coming,
it will be nice.
I know people. With a lot of them are coming. Whoever's around. Kevin and Stephanie asked if there was a rain date.
Why would they even put that?
Because they're not here.
Well, that would be why.
They drove down to the Carolinas this week.
Well,
so
during the
they didn't
earthquake?
the earthquake. They weren't anywhere near there, but they were headed down to South Carolina. So it was just funny. I said, we don't put that in the universe. We don't want rain. But it's supposed to be. It's hot out there.
Yeah, it's going to be warm.
We're doing it later, so it's not so bad. But it will be nice to see. I don't know who I'm more excited to see.
I think it'll just be nice to just for me to just kind of sit back and watch everybody enjoy everybody's company. I think that I enjoy that. Even at the birthday party, it was just nice to sit back and see everybody kind of, it was just nice.
And I'm hoping this is the time. This is like we get to see everybody, and then we're getting ready for staff meetings.
Correct. That's what we want.
So we're excited to see everybody, and not knowing that hopefully the end is there, and we're getting close, and they are too. They're playing games, and I said whoever's going to be, bring your own everything.
Right.
Not sure who's comfortable doing what at this point. We'll see. Part of this was also to see who's comfortable. Everybody's willing to come back to work, which is wonderful to hear. And so we're excited to be able to do that. We don't know when we're going to reopen. There's no date in sight.
Maybe Andy's going to share some information today.
Oh no, he's specifically talking about federal funding today. I don't think he's talking about anything else. He made it very clear at 1:30. It's his official response to what we're going to do next here in New York. Now, I could be wrong, that he's not going to talk about anything else, but he was very...
He usually sticks to his plan.
He sticks to the topic, and that seems to be the topic.
He is good at that.
We don't have it. We sadly don't. We would love to be open by Labor Day, which would then jumpstart the new season.
Yeah.
And we're going to be getting together with our league officers very shortly to start planning and thinking ahead of what the plan is. It looks like it's possible that our season will start a little bit later than typical.
Yep.
And we've got to get all the plans in place and see what that looks like. It's definitely going to be a challenge for us because of the amount of lanes we have available, and what we might have to do. But
right.
but
we got it. We have some plans.
I think we have.
We've had plenty of time to think about it.
Yeah, and all different things.
Yes,
it could be anything.
Yes, we might be over prepared.
Options. We might have to put some bowling on the roof. We always laugh about adding a second floor, but now we might really have to.
It might be right. We might have to.
We'd lose too much space down here. So we'll see. But we're itching. I think we're all itching to finally get back to just being people, being around each other, doing something socially recreational. And yes, Rob will be reaching out individually. I think, as I keep talking about, I think we're going to set up some Zoom calls in groups with our league officers.
The plan.
And so that'll help us get to our planning process. And I have to say, guys like Rob and some of the other league officers, Ray, have already put out there in the universe, checking in on everybody and say, hey, looks like we're starting soon, later. And we'll be in touch. So we just need to get on the ball and rolling.
Yeah.
Will's getting his balls re-drilled for his bigger hands. Oh my God.
He got so tall. Like they came in the other day, and it always amazes me how kids sprout up over the summertime. But he was tall to begin with, but it's
amazing. You don't realize, we always get some of the kids we see all year round, but then when we don't see
when I see them year round, there are kids that are here every week. It seems like in the summertime they grow more.
It's so true.
It's like the sun makes them grow. It's so weird. And I've noticed this for years.
Yeah, it's so true. And then when we don't see them for the summertime,
it's even right. Yeah.
Well, I love when we get the shoes back at the counter. The first week of bowling, before bowling starts on Friday or Saturday morning, even Wednesdays, the shoes come back. You didn't start bowling yet. Why do you have a pair of shoes? Well, they keep the shoes in the lockers, but they need a bigger size, so they use them all season long, and they kept them in their locker or their bag because they didn't want to go to the counter.
You're giving all the secrets.
It's not a secret. Come on, the kids have been doing it forever, but it's just so funny when they come back week one, and can I have a size 3, please? Where'd you get those from?
I love the ones that we used to barely be able to see over the counter, and then they come back and we can see their whole head. Yeah. So,
or they don't look. They change.
They change.
Puberty really hits, and it's like,
some of them come back. They have facial hair,
or they're extra thin.
Yeah.
Or they're plump.
Especially after this pandemic, you can't blame them. I mean, really.
But it's like going back to school when you see kids for the first time. For us, it's September.
Jimmy's here.
Here we are. Jimmy's finally here. Michael beat him today. But he's not banging on the door, so I think he just accepted to just go through the post.
Yeah, I think that sometimes he just goes through.
He's coming through the back door because he doesn't want a key.
Well, it's just Jimmy. He's a quirky guy.
Oh, we can't wait to get back to action. Hey, speaking of 2020 needing to end, because this, I don't know, whatever. Here's our meme of the day.
It definitely has been that type of year.
Brought to you by the letters WT and F. Year 2020.
I summed it up.
My uncle was here.
He was standing. He was here for a while.
Run away? He came in, popped in.
Then he walked down that way, and I'm not sure who he is. Hi, Jim.
There's a little present on my desk for you in a little Ziploc bag.
What's the matter?
Who's got a red SUV?
A red SUV?
Parked there at my spot.
Oh no.
Oh.
Michael's here.
Yeah. All right. It's from across the street. Them assholes that parked.
Oh. Somebody parked at Jimmy's spot. Jimmy's not happy. Oh boy. I'm sorry. Happy. On my desk in a little Ziploc. You'll see. Happy birthday to our friend Chrissy Kent.
Oh,
today's a birthday.
Birthday, Chrissy.
And speaking of getting old and growing up, happy 18th birthday to Ed's granddaughter, my cousin Samantha.
Oh, she's
18. Where did time go?
Remember what she was that little girl toddling around here.
Yeah, imagine. I feel my niece and nephew at the house. They stayed over last night, and just watching them. I mean, it's
Yeah. That's
and of
what
course he's got a
happens.
pair of
Uncle
pajamas
Frankie.
that he won't give up. That are too small.
Oh, Nikki did the same thing, and so did Alexis.
They're comfy,
It's
they
so
like them.
weird. They're short, and their arms are like maybe up to here,
Or their little belly
like a
hangs
little tight.
Yeah.
But they love those pajamas. Man.
For Thomas, they're a little short,
Yeah.
and they're like a little belly shirt, and it's short sleeves, so like this.
Yeah, right. The sleeve is like now here.
And then her pajamas are like I thought I got yelled at because I asked her, oh, she's got a princess costume on. It's a princess costume, but it's her pajamas.
It's her pajamas.
She's Princess Elsa. They're really cute. They don't really look comfortable to sleep in, but she's comfortable.
Kids don't care.
Oh, no.
Kids don't care.
It is amazing sometimes. And then the conversations with kids. Oh my God. I just looked at them. I was like, where does that come from?
Well,
Yeah.
it's funny because
And she don't stop.
yeah, girls are definitely vocal. It was funny because this weekend, sitting with Nazareth and having a conversation about what it's like raising a teenager in the world today, and it is scary. And so Alexis is, she's a typical teenager. She probably has her phone taken away from her.
Constantly.
I don't know, maybe out of 12 months, she has it for a period of 2.
Oh.
But yeah, Nazareth is pretty strict with the phone and
That doesn't surprise me.
monitoring
At
the.
all doesn't surprise
Right. But listen, you can't. This is a scary world. It's a scary world with crazy, scary people in it. So yeah.
me. Yeah. And you know what's funny? I think every generation has something.
Well,
So you had teenagers, and I'm sure it was scary for different reasons. You didn't have these devices in your hands, but you had different things. You were worried about them coming back home at night.
Right.
It's just a different.
Correct.
So there was always going to be something. It's just a different something. And Naz, you have to call Frank.
I see
Ping
that
Frank.
because he could.
Frank wants you to ping him after.
He could.
Bobby Oviedo.
I may have to go to the driving range. Hit some balls.
Hit some balls. Dicks and balls.
Dicks and balls.
Oh. We didn't have a golf outing this year.
Sad.
But we know we're looking forward to next year.
We are. It's going to be
2021.
extra.
2021 I hope is probably going to be a really extra year. There's going to be a lot of extra events. There's going to be a lot of extra things. People are going to be excited to be out, hopefully out and about and doing things. It can't come soon enough.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not 2020 extra. We don't need that kind of extra.
No. Oh no.
We need happy extra.
Happy extra. Happy. We do. There's nothing like meeting. But that's why we're here.
That's why we do this, Frank.
To bring a little
We're a happy
enjoyment,
extra.
not only to us, but to you. So thanks for sticking around and being with us 118 episodes later.
Crazy.
Here we are.
What day is today, Frank?
Today is Monday. Today's day 146 of the shutdown quarantine, whatever the hell you want to call it these days.
It's craziness. It is.
That's why today's meme of the day.
What? Yes.
2020 is brought to you by the letters W, T,
and
F. I might keep that one around.
I like that one.
We could use that.
Very fitting.
Live your extra life. Well, we're glad that we keep you entertained. You guys keep us entertained too.
Oh, who says that? Live your extra life. Somebody. I think a hair guy. There's a hair guy. Brad Monzo. See, you definitely know I watch too much TikTok, but he has a thing where he says, "Live your extra life."
Yeah, I know it doesn't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, he does hair. Okay. Anyway, so that's that. So there's that.
I like that. That's like
Live your extra life.
Live your extra life.
Yeah.
And you try to find the simple joys in life. And so
Absolutely.
if you haven't found some simple joys in life in 2020, God hope 2021 has more simple joys. But when I went Saturday over to Ariema's and bought bread Mondo, there you go.
See, I didn't make it up.
I
She
didn't
must
think
watch
you
the TikTok too. He's also on YouTube.
when I went to Ariema's and picked up figs and flowers.
Simple.
It was a simple joy
Yep.
in life.
Yep.
And it's amazing. And Wendy, you're right. How many Netflix or shows we've binged up on? I'm actually watching Outlander. That's on the list. We haven't watched it yet.
I haven't watched that one either.
We are still finishing Schitt's Creek. I don't know if I mentioned this last week. I think it's called Sinatra. On Netflix, there's a documentary.
Oh, really?
It was done really, really well. And
I have to check
I
that
missed the first few minutes of it, and I caught into it. And it's basically a mixture. I'm not giving anybody. I mean, everybody knows the story. But I think it tells a different story. But there are real-life interviews with him, others. It's narrated. And they take pieces from all different documentaries over the years. And his career in itself was really impressive. Lots of music, of course. What he did for the music industry, specifically for Black entertainers.
Yep.
Introducing them and standing up for them,
Yeah.
Giving them a time into about segregation. It talks about a lot of what he did. Excellent. You go through it. Ray would love it.
I was just gonna say, I think that I'll put that on the list.
We're music people, so we love that stuff,
yes,
and we love those types of stories. I think it's called Sinatra. I mean, I don't know what else
We'll check it out. We'll look on Netflix and
excellent.
search Sinatra.
Check it out. It's a good break because we watch all these shows.
Yeah.
And just every so often you're looking for a movie or
Just
something in between.
Right.
The others in my family have been watching Queen of the South.
I've heard that's really good.
They love it. I couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
Not a fan. It's just not. And it's funny. It's because I like that stuff, but
Right.
there's just something about it that I didn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't
It
get
didn't catch you. It didn't grab you.
No, that's fine. Everybody else can have something else to watch. And so now it's Big Brother season, so this is tough. So that between that and then catching up, but Schitt's Creek, I have to say, it's funnier as it goes on. We talked about it Friday with Nikki, because he was surprised to hear he didn't know about Eugene Levy and Catherine
O'Hara.
And it's absolutely hysterical.
It is. It's just, to me, it's so organically funny. It's just how honestly,
it's believable. I think they're like that in real life to an extent.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's honestly, you don't ever feel like you're watching something, and it is over the top. Obviously, the story is over the top. The whole scenario is over, but the characters are so good.
And they're relatable to an extent.
They are so funny.
And I say that in a not so relatable way because they're relatable, but they're not. But they're trying to be normal people.
Right.
And it's really funny.
It's a funny show.
Wendy, the only problem that I have, and I've said that Naz and I have talked about this. Umbrella Academy. I think the new season just started. Did they just upload a new season?
Yeah, just last week.
I haven't watched it yet,
of last week, I think.
Michael keeps telling me that we have to watch it. And I think he got Tita to watch it. But my only issue with all of these shows that we've watched, when we get back to life,
how are you gonna?
there's no way I'm gonna be able to catch up and watch new seasons. And I can't wait for some new seasons of what we just watched because they were so good. We'll see. And
that's why it's kind of nice to watch. Like I watched Defending Jacob on Apple TV, which was good. It was 8 episodes, and it.
But that's the problem. 8 episodes, 10 episodes. And then
but it's done. I don't have to worry about.
Oh, it's done. Right.
I don't have to worry about it.
Like we watched Lock and Key. I think Lock and Key was going. I don't think that was getting renewed. Some of the stuff that we watched that was older. That's done.
Right.
I have to wait for a year. We have to wait for a year. But my point is, by next year, I'm hoping. I'm truly hoping that I don't have any time to watch any of those shows.
That would be correct.
I would.
Don't even put it in the universe.
Yeah.
Just leave it there.
God.
Let it die.
Dead. Smashed. Ooh, Mr. Rogers.
In addition to Mr. Rogers.
Who's Jimmy Allen?
I don't know what he's doing.
Is there somebody else in there? Is he okay today? Do we have to be worried?
He seems a little cranky.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned.
He's cranky all the time. He hasn't been lately, but
somebody's Parkinson's.
Oh yeah.
He's not happy today.
He's not happy about the Parkinson's.
So I'm a little worried about what the rest of the day is going to be like. I might shut the office door when I go in here. Anyway, well, Monday, we got a whole week to go. God knows what's going to happen in the worlds this week. We're hoping for some good news.
We're hoping for nothing. It's going to be warm for the next couple days.
Yes. No crazy activity,
right.
no murder hornets, no flame throwing
explosions.
squirrels.
There wasn't.
Did you see that explosion?
There was the one in Beirut or the one in Baltimore.
Baltimore.
I didn't.
Yesterday or today.
It was today.
This morning. Yeah. Hearts and thoughts and prayers to those families.
Scary things going on.
It certainly is. I didn't see the whole story. I just saw the.
Yeah, me neither.
Clip. Yeah. I believe they did say people are safe.
Yes.
But I don't know. So tomorrow we'll know a little bit more. And the whole thing in Beirut, that's sadly what's happened now is there's a lot of unrest that's built up for so many years. You're talking 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Nothing new. And so here this comes, and they believe their government is at the bottom of it. They don't know what to believe.
It's
just so sad.
And the problem is when there's no, and I'm not, listen, I don't know anything about the leadership in that country, but when leadership is absent, it leaves a lot to the imagination.
Yes, but for them, I don't really think it's absent. I think it's over.
Right. Correct.
They've been dealing with stuff a year, it's been
it's
quiet.
Yeah.
At least quiet in world news until this.
Yeah.
I made a mess with my water before.
I see what you're doing there, Frank.
Yeah. I couldn't see, and I overfilled my. Yeah. Anyway. Well, we got a few more days of us here on Life and Rabs through Friday. We're off the weekends, 12 noon every day. You never know what's going to happen here on Life and Rabs.
Ever. Ever know.
We're excited to see everybody this evening. We're excited to be back here tomorrow, but we're only excited because we know we can't open tomorrow. But when we can open, we won't be excited to have be here.
Yes, this is true.
I say that tongue in cheek. We love doing this. We love having fun with you, and we certainly look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Seeing you soon here on the lanes.
We'd rather see you in person than on here, in other words.
Without a doubt. Like, share, tell your friends and family.
Ring the little bell so you know when we're here.
Be safe, healthy, wear your mask, wash
don't
your
touch
hands.
your face.
If you touch your face, you better have washed your hands before and after.
And after.
Don't pick your nose.
Don't touch the fruit at the
Don't
stand.
squeeze the fruit.
Don't touch it.
Or don't touch it either. Yeah, no, if you want it, you buy it.
That's it. Once you touch it,
you
just
buy
take it. You're going to have to learn to visually tell whether it's the one you
So
want.
quick.
Go ahead.
Saturday, when I had my hands full. I had tomatoes that I was trying not to squish. I wound up buying some plants.
No basket.
I didn't use a basket, but I took the plants and I put them on the counter. And this elderly lady was at the counter with a mask on, and she's like, "Get away from me!" Very rudely, like, "Get away from me!" I said, "I'm just putting these down, and I'm gonna."
Oh, because you were too close to her.
And I really wasn't.
I could understand.
You're
that.
the lady, and I went like this, and I went like this. Like I really was not close.
Maybe she's
And
worried.
she is. Stay the fuck home. Sorry,
Yeah.
I just dropped an F-bomb.
All right then. On that note,
STFH. I just looked at her. I said, "I'm sorry." I said, "I just put this down." Anyway.
people are a little touchy, on edge. Yes.
Oh, that felt good.
You got that out of your system, Frank. See?
You know where that comes from?
Because you didn't rant. So you had to release the negative energy.
Yeah. That comes from not stay home, slow down.
Yes.
There's a scene in Come From Away. It's the opening number, I believe.
I
think
never
it's the
did
opening
get
number.
to see that.
And the cop, he when he pulls someone over, he's basically saying he writes on the
ticket.
On a ticket, but doesn't give him the ticket.
Slow
STFD. It's just funny. It's just a funny moment.
There you go.
All right. Anyway, we will see you tomorrow here at 12 noon.
12 noon, sharp.
Tom Wilkinson, you're right.
Yep. Thanks for coming.
Oh, until then, Naz.
That That was awesome.
Bye.
Bye bye.